Okay, so in light of the recent H3 video on Instagram versus reality, and also the Selena Gomez, there was an article about her and what she said in regards to social media. I thought I would make a video on this. Now I know, and it's all about being a YouTuber and a couple of issues I wanted to talk about. Now I know I'm not a big influencer or anything like that, and I know most people won't see this video, but that's okay. I just wanted to share a few thoughts on the issue. So in this video, I want to do it like a real talk, like an Instagram versus reality, but in this case, a YouTube versus reality. And I want to be real with you. I want to just tell you how I'm feeling about this. I kind of got this idea because I was thinking of actually lights and about how lights make everything better when you have them, whether you have them outside or just in general, just lights make everything cool. And that gave me the thought of, like with YouTube again, YouTube, it's designed for you to make everything look as good as possible. It's designed. And YouTube videos, it's like the most biased video ever. If you were a news report, it would be fake news. These videos, it's selected, it's the filtered, the edited, the best you that you can ever be. You are 100% in control of how you look and how the video goes. You make yourself look the absolute best. Very rarely does anyone see anything else. So basically, recently, H3 published a video called Instagram vs. Reality. Also, to mention, I actually had thought of doing a video like this quite a while back, but then I sort of didn't end up doing it. But I was thinking one day I'll do it. Anyway, I thought, in light of that, as well as Selena Gomez coming out about social media, I thought this is a fair time to make the video, because just regarding that, I thought that they made very interesting and valid points. Now, H3 did this video called Instagram vs. Reality, and basically what he did is he got all these images of all these Instagram models and whatnot, and then compared them to an image of reality, like what they actually look like. And it was like, for me, like, I don't know, like, it was it was an entertaining video, but actually for me it proved a huge point, because to be honest, like, I didn't actually realize that was actually a thing. Like, I occasionally have a personal Instagram account, occasionally browse it a little bit, not normally, just occasionally, but yeah, anyway, just for me it was actually an eye-opener, that actually it wasn't reality. This isn't actually how they look like. I always thought it's like I thought like, the old magazine cover, they'd Photoshop it a little bit, but then he showed me and it was like, whoa, that's literally, because I just thought there was just like huge amounts of absolutely incredible looking people, and then it was like, mate, this just like just the feed of just whoa. But then it's like, well, actually no, that's not actually the case. It's not necessarily real life. And I thought that was a very interesting, valid point. And then most recently, just today in fact, I read an article about Selena Gomez and how she was saying that, like, I'll quote her now. This was from the article, Selena Gomez doesn't post pointless pictures on social media, by people.com, and it quoted as saying, I think our world is going through a lot. I would say for my generation specifically, social media has been real terrible. And then anyway, she went on to the end, which was the point I really resonated with, and she said this: I notice with me, I get kind of depressed looking at these people who look beautiful and amazing, and it would just get me down a lot. Taking breaks is really important. Just know that most of it isn't real, and I hate to say that. I don't mean to be rude, but it's very unrealistic in a lot of ways. 2 points there. A, she was, in my opinion, echoing the sentiment of H3's video, not to say that H3 was exclusive to that idea, but like, as in, I saw that, and then I saw her post this, or like this article about what she was saying. I'm like, literally, that is so true. Like, but to me, it was like two people, like within like a week or within a couple of weeks, saying, look, this isn't reality. And for me, it's like, I thought it was reality. To me, it was like, what? But then most notably, which was like to me the most shocking, when she says, I notice with me, I get kind of depressed looking at these people who look amazing and beautiful and amazing, and it just get me down a lot. And I'm like, what? It would get you down a lot. It's like, seriously, it's like, flip, if it gets Selena Gomez down, it's like, what? There's no way. It's like, mate, how does that, like, she gets down by that? It's like, how? But that was, for me, just like a, whoa. It's like, mate, this is a much bigger problem. And yeah, that was really what led me to do this video, to like, I think that they're really onto something. Selena Gomez, I fully applaud her for coming out and saying that. She was the most subscribed Instagram user for so long, and partly potentially because of the reason of her not posting as much, because of how she felt. That may have led her to lost that position, because of she stood by her principles, and I thoroughly applaud her for doing that, for actually thinking this through and just saying how she felt about it most recently. Now, the second point I wanted to make, and again, these views in no way necessarily representative of the YouTube community, but this is just my personal experience. So basically, this is sort of a semi-linked idea, and it was in regard to YouTubers, right? And to YouTubers. So, when I was, younger, I used to see YouTubers. I'm like, they are just amazing. The YouTubers, like, well, this are the ones I liked. I'm like, these are like the top people in the world. They're absolutely incredible. They're just like the perfect people. They're the coolest, most awesome people in the world. And everything about them is awesome in that. But then slowly, eventually, I started my own YouTube channel, and I became, the more I became a YouTuber, the more I did YouTube, and the more popular I grew. And I know I'm not a huge channel, 20,000 subs. I'm very happy with that. I'm very surprised that I made it to that. But yeah, to me, it's like, the more I became a YouTuber, that's what it took me to realize that actually, no, YouTubers aren't these incredible, amazing people that are like way better than everyone else. And I'm saying that in terms of the fact that I learned that lesson by becoming a YouTuber. I'm like, nothing, literally, like me from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it's like, I'm not a different person, I'm the same person. So the sub count, just because I have 20,000 subscribers, that doesn't make me any more of a person. That doesn't mean anything. And then I'm like, actually, there's nothing like YouTubers are incredible, with all these ideas and all that. It's amazing. But in terms of actually, like, as a person, it's like, we're just people. YouTubers are just people. And for me, I really struggled with that, because I just looked up to these, top YouTubers, and like, wow, they're the most incredible people ever. They must just be the absolute most awesome people in the world. But then it's like, actually, it's like YouTube, it's awesome, but it's another job. And yes, it is kind of more than that, but in terms of, it doesn't make someone a way better person for being a YouTuber. It's not like you're suddenly on a whole new level. It's like, well, everyone has their own ways of making a living. YouTube is one of them. Just because you're a YouTuber doesn't mean that, just because you have 1 million subscribers doesn't mean that suddenly you're a more valuable person. Yet that was the way I think. I'd be like, you have this many subscribers, you must be incredible, you must be amazing. And I would completely link that to that. But then the more I grow, I'm like, I'm still the same person. I haven't changed. I'm just the same person. Just because I have subscribers doesn't make me any more of a person or any cooler of a person. And I'm like, that was made me click. I'm like, wow, actually, in reality, it's not this amazing, it's not like amazing, like, person. Like, yeah. And another thing in regards to reality is like, yeah, this was back to my point earlier, in regards to reality and, fake Instagram, fake versus reality. Not just Instagram, in terms of videos. I felt, I would be publishing daily videos of, this 10 minutes. And I almost felt dishonest in a sense. I would make these the coolest 10 minutes ever. I'll be the most enthusiastic. I'll be the most happy. I'll be the most excited. I would give you a snapshot of, what it's like. And from that, and this is what really got to me, if you watch that every day, the 10 minutes of me and the happiest point of my, day, and the most excited point, you think, wow, man, this guy, he must be amazing. He's got a great life. But it's like, no, during these years of YouTube, I've had some really lows in my life, really lows. And it's like, perception-wise, it's not reality. It's not like this year is, but that's exactly the trap I fell into. When I was looking at these other YouTubers in like 2015 and thinking, whoa, they've got life sorted. They must be the most amazing people, because they would present, and the best part of your life. That's all they present. The best part of their life, the most awesome part of their life. The reality is, life isn't like that. But on YouTube, that's the only feel you get. I feel like there's a disconnect, between reality and like videos and that, and because who wants to see someone's like realistic life? Most people's life isn't like every single moment of life isn't exciting and awesome and epic. But that's how with YouTube videos you dress it up to be, and it is enjoyable in the video. But it's like, that is not representative. That is not an accurate representation of my life. And I could have felt deceived. It's like, you guys will be thinking this is all you know about my life. You don't know about me. You don't know everything else I do in life. But you just see this 10 minutes per day and think, man, this guy must have life sorted. And it's like, I don't know. And that's why I feel like this is giving such a false impression. If this is all you're seeing, this 10 epic minutes, it's like completely biased in a sense. It's like, you're putting out 10 minutes of a reflection of your life. You have 100% control how it looks. And, it's like, you're seeing my life through the funnel of, what I want you to see. You're seeing life through the funnel of what looks really impressive on video. You're seeing it through this funnel, this filter, this unrealistic filter of what life is actually like. You're seeing the best of me, the best of how I look. It's just this art of making yourself look as good as possible. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It is It is awesome, and it was epic to see people in their prime and that, but at the same time, that's not reality. It's not an accurate reflection of who people actually are. When you watch YouTube and you watch someone day and day after day after day after day, and all you've seen is this perfect image, this perfect, like, this great 10-minute film of what they look like every day. You just get, I got the idea. I'm like, this is what they must be like all the time. This is just them. But it's like, no, that's not actually true. And this was what really made me click when I heard, H3 do this Instagram versus reality. And, for most people, I don't know, maybe it was just a video, but to me, it was like, whoa, you're exactly right. And not only was it an eye-opener, the fact that people on Instagram aren't realistic, but it was like, that is an extremely valid point, and I actually thought about that video for like the rest of my day. I'm like, he has got an actually decent point. He's got a really good point. It's not really, and then I linked that back to the YouTube video I was considering making, and then with Selena Gomez coming out with that, and with her saying she would get depressed from looking at these, it's like, oh my goodness, if you of all people would get depressed. And, like, she looks amazing. It's like, if she would get depressed at that, it's like, holy moly, there is a serious problem. There's a serious problem. And I almost feel responsible and being part of that problem because of, how I do it. How, you just see these great videos. I don't know what the solution is around it, but I just wanted to say that how I look in every single 10-minute video is not an accurate representation of my life at all. It's there to entertain, it's there to, like in regards to the game, educate you on certain aspects, but that is not actually who I am 100% of the time. I try and be genuine in that, and in those moments I enjoy it, but the reality is, I'm not playing games all the time, and I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about playing games all the time, and you see, the editor, the best version of me, that's not who I always am, and so I just really wanted to emphasize that point that, this is YouTube videos, in a sense, are like the biggest Instagram versus reality of them all, because it's like, with Instagram, it's like image versus image, and that, but with video, it's just this permanent, constant, content after content, day after day after day, you're seeing this perfect image, and I feel like, that image is it can be so destructive to you personally, like, especially with me, when I was looking up to these other YouTubers and seeing this image of what they're like, how perfect they are, and then comparing it to my life and thinking, mine's nothing like that. They must have the life. My life is terrible. It's nothing like that. But then at the same time, I think back and think, actually, their life wasn't perfect either. That's what we saw on video. We saw the best bit. And no, it's not. You're not trying to be deceitful when making these videos. You're trying to entertain. You're trying to show you the best part of their life. But you also need to realize as a viewer, and I struggle with this really badly, that actually, when you watch these YouTube videos, this is not their whole life. This is a part of their life. This is the best part of their life. You can't take that. You just can't take that and say that's their whole life. That's within a context. You never see the rest of the context. You just see the best of me, or you just see the best of them, and it's not actually a fair representation. And so it is indeed one of those situations. It's an Instagram versus reality kind of situation. This is this is just the perfect. Seeing all these top quality YouTube videos, and the top ones are recommended, not the semi quality or whatnot. It's the top content that you see, constant top content, and you start to get that feel about how life is like. But I want to tell you, it's not. It's not like that. I can tell you from personal experience, and from, seeing some of those other people that, you'd see them, this incredible life, and then suddenly there'd be all this controversy come out around them, and you'd be like, whoa, okay, maybe it wasn't actually as good as you made out in the video. And it's not like we're trying to deceive, or they're trying to deceive in terms of the video quality. They're trying to give you the best entertaining content at all. But it really, really needs to be emphasized, it really does, that indeed it's not reality. These YouTube videos aren't reality. So that was the key point I really wanted to hit on, and I really do appreciate people like, huge influencers like Selena Gomez, h3h3 coming out with videos like that. And I think that I'm so glad they did that. I'm so glad they did that. It inspired me to make this video. But they had real value in what they said. What they are saying, I believe, was really true. And yeah, I just want to leave you with that. Life is hard. Life is complicated. Life is not perfect. You may, when you watch videos, you may think that, you may get the feel of that. There's certainly, that's what I feel when I see videos. But no, it's not. It's not reality. It's not exactly how all these YouTubers are living constantly. I just wanted to let you know that. So yeah, I hope that was a valuable video. Have an awesome day, and know you are awesome.